What and welcome back to Logix Lens. Today we're going to talk about physical media and is it a dying form of media? So I know I'm beating over a dead horse with this topic, and y'all know how I feel, and y'all know one of the main topics that I harp on this channel is preserving game history, bad practices by these big corporations, all that good bullshit. Bethesda has announced that there's no physical disc for Starfield, probably the biggest title on the Xbox Series X and S that we have seen to date, maybe the biggest release on the platform in its whole duration. Yeah, that's not gonna have a disc. Spiderman 2, the collector's edition, will not have a disc. Only a digital voucher for the game. The collector's edition, mind you. This is the one that is $230, let's not forget. I would assume that people that collect things like to physically have them. I don't know any collectors that collect digital vouchers. You know, I'm just saying. I don't know how those two things go hand in hand, especially at a $230 price tag. I can't get a disc. I've been big on this for a long time because I saw the rabbit hole we was going down, and I knew it was one that is just almost impossible to climb back out of. So we got to the point now that the most expensive versions of games are not gonna have physical discs to play them. Some games aren't even being released with a version of a physical, even a case. Alan Wake 2, just came across Alan Wake. I realized it's something that I'm interested in. I saw the trailer for 2. I was like, this game looks decent. Let me play 1. I'm waiting for Alan Wake 2. There's no physical version of Alan Wake 2. There's literally only gonna be a digital version. You can't even go get a physical case out the store with a voucher. Couple creators, shout out to What Culture Gaming, shout out to Udahar from Some Ordinary Gamers. They covered this, and I saw some comments under their videos, and I just wanted to I want to see people's reasoning behind being so against physical games as if it's harming them. I personally don't have a problem with, I just prefer to get games digitally. Cool. But when you are outwardly speaking against physical games, it's kind of weird because you're taking something from people. I think that digital games are a great idea. I don't think it's a great idea to take away that option from people. So we're gonna go through some of the comments that I've seen under a couple of these videos. Here we go. Sweet Chili Heat 4559 says, I'm a physical copy type of person. A big part of it too is being able to own the games you love literally for a long time and being able to build a huge collection. Zombie Man Temple says, no one cares. Zombie Man Temple, I beg to differ. When you look at these videos and the engagement that they get and the support in the comments, I think it's kind of hard to say no one cares. I mean, you don't care, but clearly a lot of us do. And I think that even the fact that you're on this channel that seems to be on the side of preserving game history, I just think it's kind of odd that you're under there telling somebody no one cares when everybody seems to care that's underneath this post. Actually, I'm gonna be quite honest, it was hard for me to find people against it, but granted, I guess maybe it's not that many people against it, it's just so many people support it that it then in turns make them not really care either way to even fish this out. But I think when you got channels such as What Culture and Some Ordinary Gamers, I think that is something worth discussing. EVP 159 replies to Zombie Man Temple and says, I agree. I think the obsession with physical games is kind of odd. Obsession? What the fuck are you talking about? It's literally something that you bought with your money and you want to keep. I don't get how that makes me obsessed. Were you obsessed when you bought your car? Were you obsessed when you bought your PS5 and wanted to actually have it? Were you obsessed when you bought your phone and you just wanted to literally have it in your hand for use because you paid for it? If today Ford called you and told you, yeah, so we're no longer letting you keep your car as long as you want it. We know you paid for it and you physically want it, but you know, we'll keep it here. And when you want it, just let us know, and then you could come get it and drive it. And who knows, one day we might just take it and keep it and you'll never be able to drive it again. Sorry. I know that's a bit extreme of an example, but the concept is still one in one, if you feel what I'm saying. I think it's kind of hard to argue when you go into something and you buy it in hopes of, I'm keeping this as long as I'm able to. Yes, things break, things blow up, things get lost. All that stuff happens, and that is a risk you take on when you buy things. But those are things you have a little bit more agency with. Versus people that just are only in things for the money. They say, hey, what's the best way we can save money and maximize profits? Let's stop making physical items. Let's not keep servers up as long as we want to. Let's take stuff down because it's no longer profitable. Let's take stuff down because we want to make a part 2 and don't give people the option to still play part 1 even if they prefer it. If that's what you want to call obsessed, by all means call me obsessed, but I just think that the word obsessed has a different definition. Corey McDermott 2612 says, do you really think that's worth it? Making physical games creates pollution and uses up resources. To me, it's not worth making the world worse just so I can look at a shelf full of plastic covers. Bitch, what? What are you talking about? You drive a car? Do you drive public transportation? Do you recycle plastic, glass, and all other recyclable things in your home? Do you use solar panels to get energy for your home? Do you grow your own food? Shut up with this resource bad for the earth's bullshit. I don't believe any of you that make this argument because you know good and well that you don't live a life that is focused on being eco-friendly. I refuse to believe this. All this hunk of plastic you still have in your house isn't good for the environment either. So I don't want to hear you say, quit making plastic. It's bad for the earth. Well, bitch, sue me. That's a piss poor attempt of an argument. If nobody ever told you that fact, you would never bring it up. So I refuse to believe that you genuinely believe this and you genuinely live your life so eco-friendly that we can't afford to make plastic cases for games. In a response to a supporter of physical games, Champagne 1684 says, maybe consider that not everyone lives in the West. My country has one single comic book store in the capital city and it's marked up by at least 50%. The only game store in the second biggest city in my country just shut down because people straight up don't care about video games in my country. We don't have a multi-decade gamer culture that would make us a lucrative market. If I want any physical media, including books at this point, if they're not in my local library, I need to order it. I refuse to pay 20 currency for shipping and then wait for it to actually get here. If I want to preserve the media I own, I'll pirate it. Fuck messing with physical though. Sir, I don't know where you live and I don't care. This is not about you, nor are you losing anything if physical games exist. Whether they're in your country or not, nobody is advocating to get rid of digital media. We're only advocating to keep physical. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't care where you live. I don't care what's lucrative. I don't care what's accessible to you. It doesn't matter. You want your digi games? Get them. We want our physical games. In response to a supporter of physical media, Infinity Dragon OID 2655 says, because not that many people have the room to house all of the physical media that they collect, get a bigger fucking house. I'm just joking, but clearly this is not, again, you guys keep bringing up stuff that's like you have an issue with, so therefore we can't have it. What functions like that? I have an issue with dairy. Do you think that I'm gonna tell all the stores to stop selling it? What the fuck are you talking about? If you don't have the room in your home to collect physical things, don't. We're not saying digital media should not exist. We're saying we want the option to make that choice. I'm sorry that wherever you live, you don't have the room for it. Some of us do, some of us don't. But regardless, even if we don't, we still should have the option to choose if we want to keep our house filled with plastic cases. So at the end of the day, I understand why people support digital media. I actually support it. I don't want to get rid of it. I just don't want options taken from it. I've never been a fan of not having the facade of options, because that's what's happening here. You know, if you don't have the room, don't buy it. If you feel like it's taking up space and you can't deal with it and don't want to, don't. If you're too lazy to get up and change a disc, stay your fat ass on the couch. I don't care. I truly don't. That's your prerogative. But me personally, there's some things that I do enjoy, and I think that there's a lot of other people that clearly enjoy it too. It's not just me, because there is something to say about owning something that you buy with the intent of knowing that maybe down the line you can still have this option to enjoy what you love. I don't know how I would feel if I couldn't play Def Jam Fight for New York in 2023. NBA Street Volume 2. I don't know how I would feel if that option was not granted to me. I'm playing Beautiful Joe right now consistently, and I'm enjoying it like it just came out. What world do you guys want to live in, especially for games like Starfield that you love so much that you might just want to one day go back to and enjoy? Mass Effect. I just got into Mass Effect a couple years ago. If that game was only digital, I'm sure it would be taken down and not supported just because they don't have to. They don't want to. I don't think they're going to keep an infinite library of games for us to play for as long as we want to play them. I just don't see that happening, because there's going to be a point in time where that's not feasible to them. All I can say is, if we're going to be so supportive of this no option of digital only games, if that's the only option you're going to give us, games, there's no reason the price should stay the same. Absolutely no reason under the sun that games should be $70 and $60. You have cut out so much spending, so much within your budget, to where you don't have to create the physical thing that people buy, where they just come to your platform and pull it off your servers. There's nothing anyone can do to convince me that it's a good idea to only go digital. Hell, I'm not even mad if physical games would cost a little bit more than just the digital, if that's the route they want to go. And I mean more as in, they need the digital needs to be about $45, $50. Keep the physical games at $60 to $70. What the fuck ever. At least, again, I have the agency to choose how I want to spend my money, and what. There's some games I don't care about that I probably won't ever play again, that I just want to get that experience in and I'm out. But there's some things like Spider-Man that I would like to keep forever and ever. I collect all things Spider-Man. If it's Spider-Man, I want it, and I want to keep it, and I want to. I don't even feel right buying a collector's edition where I don't even have the damn game. Especially with an IP like Spider-Man, there's always a death date to license IPs. Everybody remember Deadpool, Marvel Ultimate Alliance? You can't get those games unless you physically have them. I rest my case.